Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the post notifications so that you're notified whenever I do post a video. If you're a returning subscriber, you're welcome as always. So, if you don't know me and this is the first time you're getting to my channel, I go by Auma and I do like a recap of Love Island season 8, Love Island USA season 8, and I am currently on episode 13. Now, today I'm going to start the video with Casey. Now, Casey and shit. Like, I'm tired of calling people shit. Seriously, I am tired, exhausted. So, Casey, after his conversation with Anaya, he decided to pull Bryce and Zach. Two people who are not genuine in their relationship or in their couple and are also afraid of exploring, just the way he's afraid of exploring because they want a safer option. And that's why they are stuck with Keida and Trinity, because they are afraid of exploring one another at this point. Now, Casey is asked what the issue is with Anaya or what the conversation entailed, and he says it's basically because Anaya is telling him that he's not serious, he's not genuine, and he doesn't know. And then the boys gaslight him to thinking, you know what? You're not the problem, she's the problem. She's too emotional, she's restricting you, she's not letting you explore. Okay, if Keida and Trinity are not restricting you to on exploring, why are you not exploring one another? Because I know for sure Love Island wouldn't be upset if the two of you explore each other. Actually, it will be actually groundbreaking. So maybe you two should do that. Because at this point, you are too much into people's business. And when they were saying Anaya, I think they forgot Bryce and Zach in there. Because Anaya walked so that they could fly. Now, I'm not understanding why Saul gave Keida and Melanie that look when she found them doing pinking promise and then running to Caleb and say, this house has a lot of secrets. This house really has a lot of secrets. No. When it was your turn hiding the secrets, it was okay by you. When you were running at Solstice and Speak Easy, kissing on some other man, then that secret was okay with you. When you were telling Sincere that you are not going to tell Melanie about the kiss, that he should tell Melanie, that secret was okay to keep, right? But now because it might affect you, now you have a problem with secrets. Give me a break, girl, bye. Bye. And that's the problem. And that's why I'm telling you guys, she has some side bitches tendencies. And none of you is like listening to me. She has those tendencies. It's only serious or it's only harmful when it's directly going to affect her. But when it's some other person, then she has no issue with it. It's okay. If she's the one keeping the secret, if she's the one hurting people, she's okay with it. But if it's the other way, now she has a problem with it. Now she feels some type of way. Now she wants to be reassured. Now she wants to do this, that. Please, miss me with that bullshit. Take 10, actually. Now let's talk about Corbin. You know, there is some content creator who on TikTok, I think she goes by the name Coach something. I'm forgetting the second name. I don't know why. She has been very vocal about Corbin being a robotic AI, ChatGPT, like since the moment that Corbin entered the villa. And I'm starting to see it because why was he replicating the same moves that he had done on Kenzie, on Melanie, thinking that it would make Melanie star crazy about him the same way it's making Kenzie? Because he was there kissing Melanie down on bed, and then he started with the shoulder kisses. And when he started with the shoulder kisses, that's when I knew shit ain't shit. Because again, you know how many times Kenzie has talking about those shoulder kisses. It was starting to feel like it was something special, or something that you have never done, or something that has never been done to her. And the moment she hears that Melanie had those shoulder kisses, it's going to be over for you. Now, cause shit ain't shit. Just because of that, he made me know again he ain't shit, and I'm never going to forget that he ain't shit. Next morning he wakes up, he makes Melanie like pancakes, and then he goes ahead and makes Kenzie a hot pancake. Just one hot pancake, and he makes sure that he gives Kenzie that hot pancake in front of everyone. That was disgusting as hell. Disgusting, especially after you have told this woman numerous times that I am not going to explore like whatever I have with Kenzie. I'm going to explore you. Like, I don't want that. And this woman has told you categorically that I don't want to be in any triangle anymore. And for you to pull that shit right in front of other people, and then they started smiling, was crazy. Because they were like, oh look, she's being made a fool of again. You basically embarrassed that woman in front of everyone after all those kisses and those shoulder kisses last night. Like, men ain't shit. Men are stupid sometimes. Like, at this point, they all should go. Men ain't shit. Men ain't shit. Now let's go to Zach and Keida's conversation. And when Keida asks Zach, do you love kissing me or do you enjoy kissing me? And Zach's answer that he felt was best fit for the situation was saying, Loki. Why the hell would you say that? Why? And then he goes ahead and talks about exploring and so on and so forth. And he even mentioned it to, I think, Bryce, that right now he's scared of exploring because he has had the schmecks with Keida in the hideaway, and he feels like it will now be an issue when he explores. Now, how many days ago did I say that? Before they went to the hideaway, I did say that the reason as to why Zach doesn't want to sleep with Keida, or told Keida that he doesn't want to do too much, just kissing, and he didn't want to have sex, is because he didn't want to be tied in the situation that Nick and Sierra were tied in. And he was avoiding that because he watched Love Island last year, and he knows, and men know how tricky when sex is involved, how tricky and limiting it can be to them, and that's why they pull and do very dumb shit. It's because they know that for us women, we don't take sex lightly. So he knew, and that's why he didn't want to, and that's why he couldn't turn down the offer to go to the hideaway, because at some point he made a comment like, I'm scared, I don't know, Keida looks overly excited about this. But if Keida wasn't overly excited about going to the hideaway, I bet you he would have said no. He seems like a people pleaser, low-key, and always wanting to come out as the good guy. But you can't fake being a good guy. You have to actually be a good guy. And Keida is so delusional. Like, I feel like the way Kenzie is being ruled by Corbin's Blasian D, I feel like it's the same way that Kenzie is being ruled by how Zach looks physically and not inwards, because they haven't had any meaningful inward conversation. They haven't. They haven't. Like every time production shows us, they're either kissing, or they're talking about bombshells, or they're talking about very minute, stupid things, or other islanders. Other than that, absolutely nothing. So Kayda needs to wake up, or Kayda needs to go home. One of the two. She wakes the fuck up, or she goes home. Now let's go to the girls' talk, which is about the resident side bitch and the Timo blonde and the Shin blonde talking about like their men. And Sol busy telling there how she is very secure in her relationship with Sincere. She loves the pet names that Sincere gives to her, and so on and so forth. She's so happy, like Sincere brings her peace. Okay. The same, you see the same script that Melanie used in episode 1 and 2 is the same script Sol is using now. And that's when I knew shit is about to fly off the roof. That's when I knew that a storm is brewing. And when I saw the rain, I was like, something is coming, and it came. And for Kenzie to swear Corbin into not telling anyone about their kiss, and then going to a damn blonde to tell her about their kiss, is crazy. Oh, I've forgotten. And Jen is not just a damn blonde, she's also a snake. Because the same breath that she was using to tell Kenzie to go after Corbin was the same breath she used to tell Caleb that Corbin and Kenzie aren't going anywhere, that it's just a physical thing. That Kenzie will get over Corbin, shit. And that's why that man decided to write that letter. Because he saw how much time you were spending with Kenzie. He knew Kenzie was in your ear. He knew Kenzie was telling you stuff about her connection with Caleb and her connection with Corbin. And he needed you to give him the reassurance that he is on the right track, still pursuing Kenzie. And you gave that man a reassurance, and then it fucked him over. That's when I knew you are not just a damn blonde, you are also a snake. Now, I'm wondering why the hell Kenzie wouldn't tell both Sol and Jen about her kiss with Koshit. Because there is no way Sol was going to tell anyone about that thing, because if she had to speak, it was basically going to ruin her chances. So she was going to take that thing to the grave. Because if she told anyone and it got to Mel's ears or Sincere's ears, it will affect her. Like very smooth flowing, secure relationship with Sincere. And that's not what she wants. Now let's talk about Sol and, oh, my beloved. Oh, Mama. Mama is happy.
Mama happy.
So much.
The minute she said that, and Sincere was like, me too. I knew the man was done. Mama is crazy. Mama is crazy. Because one thing a man doesn't want is for you to be his mother. They don't even like kids, and they father those kids. They don't like those kids at all. So why would you call yourself Mama is happy? So yeah, Sincere being there, you know what I have with you, it's calm, it's simple, like there is a lot of things. And also the minute that Saul like ruined it is because he made Sincere, or he validated Sincere's feelings, whereby if Sincere ever had any feelings that he was only attracted to Saul because of her body, he wasn't the first one and he wasn't going to be the last one to do so. And that was cemented by Saul by saying that a lot of guys that I hang out with or I've been with have just been interested on me, my body, but on me and on me, and they have never been interested in finding out who I am, where I come from, like how I think, and so on and so forth. Like there is so many layers to like Saul, and that's when a light bulb got lit into Sincere's head, and he was like, so it's not only me. So the way you got over those men because they first led with your body is the same way you're going to get over me. Like she sabotaged herself step after step after step. She did. She first started sabotaging herself by telling Sincere that she wasn't going to tell Melanie the kiss. Basically telling Sincere, it's okay, you can put me as a side bitch. You can put me to the side. And then she sabotaged herself because she, through that whole process and them hiding those kisses, she never for once went and spoken to Melanie and told Melanie what Sincere was telling her. And Melanie to go back to Sincere and tell Sincere, why is this bitch telling me that you told her A, B, C, D, E, F, G? And that's when Sincere knew. He knew exactly the kind of woman that he was speaking to be by his side. And then now you bring the mama thing, and then now you bring the body thing, and this guy is like, okay, those things piled up. They piled. Like throughout the process, she was doing it all on her own. Now, probably Sincere thought that when he was going to couple up with Saul, maybe the first, the second night, he was going to hit. And Saul has been closed-legged, only mouth open. And he knew, I'm wasting my time. I'd rather go back to home. Home is where it's best. And that's exactly what he did. And then he goes around and says, yeah, I know, I'm trying to peel layer after layer, when Saul says, I'm an onion, there's so many layers to me. And Sincere is like, yeah, I know, even though we have those shallow conversations, those on top conversation, but it's okay because I'm building to it. Like even the small things matter. I knew that man isn't interested in knowing anything deep about her. That's exactly the moment I knew. He's not interested. He's not interested in knowing anything deep about you. Now, the moment I saw Kenzie and Caleb having a talk at Saltires, I think it was at Saltires, and when they were kissing one another, like I could see how the minute Kenzie pulled out of that kiss, the way her face looked, I knew that she wasn't interested. Caleb is something safe for Kenzie. Caleb is something that she will end up getting married to when she has had all the sex in the world that she wants. That sex no longer drives or controls her or takes a big part of her brain, and it is someone that she just wants to drop babies with and then just stay at home, read books, make meals for the kids, and that's it. For now, Caleb isn't the man that Kenzie wants, because Kenzie now doesn't want stability. Kenzie now wants chaos. Kenzie now wants you to take her tongue, put it in your throat. Kenzie doesn't want the twirling of her tongue in your mouth and just that. No. And Caleb is giving exactly that. Because Kenzie now, every single time, she's just picturing her and Koshit doing the nasty. Just that. And Caleb, bye. I'm sorry, but bye. Like, Koshit beat you to the game. Because Koshit made sure that he gave her a taste of what she would be missing in case she ever decided to settle with you. And that is what is bothering Kenzie, because Kenzie wants to see how good she can feel if she's given the whole thing. If she goes all the way to 100, how good it can feel. Now, unless she gets to that point, she's never going to look at you the same way that you look at her. I wanted to say something messy, but when Trinity got the text about writing the letters, and Zach quickly said that, can I write to Bryce? I was like, I told you guys.
Oh my gosh, look at them. They look beautiful. Look at them. Y'all say what's up to the vlog, man. Y'all say,
Those people, I feel they're just worried that they will be the first people to actually do it, and they are afraid. But again, I think it worked. It worked once. Was it Kyra? Was it Love Island, or Are You the One? I'm not sure. There was a contestant called Kyra that actually fell in love or had a crush on another female contestant. So it does work. She was bisexual. She is bisexual until to date. Now, for Caleb and Zach, I'm feeling like these are new feelings, very, very new feelings. I'm feeling like they're probably afraid to muddy those waters. They're afraid to swim on that ocean. But again, as I said before, if they will dare to do it, I think Love Island will be 100% in agreement to it. Because again, it will be groundbreaking for their show. Again, and it's happening on Pride Month. Love Island will be happy. And the look on Trinity and Kayla's face, especially because Trinity is over the whole Zach Bryce thing. She's over it at this moment. That would be amazing. And have you seen the footage of like Zach, Kayla, and Trinity and Bryce taking pictures, and Zach has his hand behind Bryce's pockets on his ass? And you know how Bryce feels about asses. Like at this point, he's just playing with Bryce's feelings. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So when the letter writing happened, when I saw Kenzie writing quickly, because she was one of the fastest writers, I knew all that was going to be about Koshit. And for Casey, when the letter thing came, I could see his facial expressions, like he was over it. I felt like he didn't want to even write the letter, to be honest. I actually thought that he wouldn't write any letter, to be honest. That's what I thought. I thought that he wasn't going to write any letter. And I thought when I had Koshit talk, I knew he was going to write it to Kenzie because the way he talked. And when I saw Melanie after writing her letter and she knelt down and prayed over that paper, I said, the girl ain't playing. She was saying, God, I'm leaving this to you. If that man doesn't write me a letter, I'm letting you take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel and drive me off Philly. Because if I catch him outside, it's going to be bloody. Like when she knelt down and she prayed, I knew she wasn't joking. I knew this wasn't just about games for her. And I knew that no matter what happens, that I'm going to stick by Melanie. No matter what happens, I'm going to stick by Melanie through this, because to bring God into that is not an easy task. Especially if you take God very seriously, it's not an easy task. And I was genuinely impressed by it. Now, of all the letters, if I will say there was any letter that I could actually say that was very emotional to me, I will say like it was Anaya's letter, because she spoke from the heart, especially because she talked about how she has never felt like people have like courted her or dated her because they genuinely wanted to like know her, or maybe they just wanted to, they were dating her because of like her family. And again, I think, no, I spoke to this with my sister. I spoke about this with my sisters and saying that I feel like the reason as to why Casey, in when after we saw the first episode and the second episode, I told my sisters I feel like the reason as to why I felt like Casey like continued like exploring with Anaya is because the minute that Anaya said that her dad was like a famous, was a NBA player, not a famous, an NBA player that played for several teams, I saw a light on Casey's eyes, and I knew that she knew that this girl came from an influential family and how it will be beneficial for him. That's exactly what I told my sister. And that is exactly what Anaya told, like, said in that letter, that she has always felt that that is the reason as to why so many men have pursued her. And that's why she was what? She was worried and she's into her head. But I'm saying that she's the one who volunteered that information. If you know, or if you've ever had a problem because you feel like men have always wanted you because of like your dad being in the NBA and what it might bring to them, why would you start with that? Because in Love Island, it is like a safe space. Like, people have no internet. Like, you could have kept that information, mom, until you left the villa and they had to find out who you are exactly, or if you had had those deep conversation, you could have given out that information. You could have waited to see if Casey actually wanted you for you. Now that the other ones, I don't think, I felt like Trinity put too much into her letter with Zach. No, Bryce couldn't give two shits. Like, I don't know. I didn't like it, and I know because I also saw Trinity's face after she finished reading the letter. Like, it didn't give her anything. It didn't make her heart warm. He didn't do what. And I could see it because even after she sat down, she was rereading it. Maybe trying to find an inkling of any passion or anything in it. Now for Jen and Gabriel, I feel like they both knew what they wrote for each one another in that letter. Like, I'm done with it. For Jen and Gabriel. For Zach and Kayda, I feel like the letters weren't so good, but I also feel like Zach isn't into Kayda at all. And I feel like he was being performative because every single opportunity that he has had, he has talked about exploring, he has talked about Bombshell, he has made it look like he's just with Kayda to look for an opportunity to find someone else. And the minute that the letter writing thing came, and they knew that every single person, because that is the only time that you know that the audience are going to watch. The rest of the day, you never know what production is going to put out. But when you go to the fireplace or when Ariana Madix is there, you know exactly what is going to be shown on TV. So you have to be very careful with your steps because you want to pull people in and to believe this persona that you have. And that's why he was there saying that he can see himself with Kayda outside the house. Bullshit. So yeah, we are not falling for that shit because we have seen exactly everything that you have said about your connection with Kayda from the moment you two started pursuing one another. So bye. And for Caleb and for Caleb's letter, his letter was very his letter was very personal. His letter was very personal because he talked about his fears. He talks about the safety that Kenzie gives him. He left his heart out, and I knew it the moment he said that he's going to do what? He has always written letters to his ex-girlfriends. I knew that this is a man who is not afraid of showing himself or exposing himself in a letter. This is a man who is very good with his words, and he showed me exactly that. Now, for Kenzie's letter to Corbin, pass. For Corbin's letter to Kenzie, pass. And for Corbin to end by saying that when they were going to sit together with Kenzie, for saying that America will never break us. Now, one thing you don't do is threaten Americans. One thing you don't do is threaten Americans. Can you ask people in the Middle East how many years Americans have been there? You don't threaten them. They will make sure they destroy you. And that is exactly what they're planning to do now. And you call that all to yourself, because I was happy when I saw that Saul was free, Caleb was free. I was happy because I thought, okay, the next people we are taking out is Caleb and Saul, because Caleb is never going to explore anyone else unless it's a blonde bitch who looks like Kenzie or thinks like Kenzie or has the same values as Kenzie. Because when Caleb, when they were at Saltires and he said that, me and you are so similar, we have the same, we think the same or something. He said something along similar, and I was like, Caleb, do you have a vagina? Or how similar are you? Are you a nurse? The last time I checked, you said you make elevators. So how are you so similar? Oh, it's the color of your skin and the values that you hold. And that's why you are so similar and you can't explore anyone else. Because I do believe the person that you wanted to explore was Jen, until when you pulled Jen for a chat and then you were like, we're just going to talk about bombshell things, and when you went up there and Jen told you how you shouldn't be worried about Kenzie, that Kenzie is like will be very over with Koshit soon, and she will know that you are the one for her, and the way she told you that she's very comfortable in her relationship with Gabriel, that is what made you back down from Jen. If Jen hadn't mentioned those things, you would have been exploring her. So unless Love Island brings you another blonde, dumb bitch like Jen and Kenzie, he's never going to find love. So what is the reason of us keeping him in the island? And for Saul, as long as you continue with the energy, because I actually thought she was a very, very deep person. And when I read the letter, when Cynthia read the letter that she wrote him, like Cynthia read that letter like he was drinking some water without no break. It wasn't deep at all. And she comes off, your energy, I've been feeling people's energy. Unless you stop leading with your body, I'm just going to be honest now, Saul. Unless you stop leading with your body, unless you stop making men feel like the only prize they can have is what is between your legs, there is no one in that villa that is going to come that will ever take you serious. And even if you get with them outside the house, they are not going to stay with you. Unless you stop making men feel like you are some secret that should be kept, you are something that should be hidden. Because if you had seen Keida and Melanie do a pinky promise after you were so sure that your man had taken her to speak with her, you could have asked Cynthia what they spoke about with Melanie, because why did you see Melanie do a pinky promise with Keida? But because you're so male-centered and you feel like you never want to upset a man, because if you upset a man, they will suddenly leave you. They will always leave you. Upset the man. Be the demon in that man's life. You hear me? Don't let that man catch a break. Because the moment you give them breaks, that's when they do dumb shit. Make their lives a living hell. That before they do something, they think twice, because they never know how you will react. So yeah, if you can't do that, leave that man. Now, did I know that Cynthia and Melanie were going to write letters to each other? Yes, I knew both times. I knew for Melanie because Melanie prayed the shit out of that letter. I know she wouldn't have done that if she was writing for Koshit. She wouldn't have even think twice. So I was thinking it was either two things. Either she had written a letter to Cynthia, to ask for a chance with Cynthia, or she had written a letter to Cynthia or to herself saying that she was over and done with whatever was going on between her and Cynthia, and she was letting go, like she was writing a letter to herself, and how this time she has appreciated and learned to love and learned to grow, like all that. And for Cynthia, I knew he wrote a letter to Melanie when they were dressing up to go to the makeshift fire pit because of the rain. She had written a letter to Melanie because he asked, why am I confusing my words? he asked Casey, so if I didn't pursue Melanie, would you have pursued Saul? And Casey said yes. I knew that Cynthia was happy with his decision for writing to Melanie, because he will now rest easy thinking that, okay, now that I didn't write to Saul, at least Saul is not going to be alone, because Casey will now pursue her. And that's when I knew that Cynthia had written to Melanie. He just wanted to make sure that Saul was safe, kind of, or Saul would still be able to stay in the house and pursue another connection. So if you've gotten to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, turn on the post notification, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, share this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.